Good morning and happy 14 weeks out. Cannot believe it's going by so quickly. I feel like I was just talking about starting prep in like a month, and now we're like approaching a month in already, and I'm so excited to be here. But another very successful week on the books. We weighed in at 171.8 this morning. So, again, another 5 pound drop this week. We are just on a roll. Things are feeling great. Sleep, recovery, nutrition, hydration, training, every single thing has just been so locked in. And that's what you want to do before you start your prep. You should already be in a perfect flow state. And that's what we're in right now. So I'm going to run through my check-ins. I'll show you guys a little bit of that today. And then I'm going to be taking you guys through a crazy full lat and bicep workout. There's going to be a little bit of other back in there as well too, but primary focus is going to be on lat training because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, man, how do you get those lats developed like that? Clearly you know what you're doing. You have an extremely developed back specifically. That seems to be my forte. So stay tuned, stick along. For all those of you guys who want that V taper and that X-frame look, this is the video that you're going to want to pay attention to. And for those of you watching, make sure you guys subscribe, like, it means a lot to me. I'm putting so much energy and effort into these for you guys. So your support is greatly appreciated. Much love. So lately I've been doing like a little mix between my cardio where on my days after I train legs specifically, I've been doing like half treadmill and then half in the pool just because it's like literally the next room over. So I just find it's a lot less impactful on the joints. So for those of you out there who think that you have to do your cardio the exact same way, it's really more about creating standardization rather than mimicking the exact same thing all the time. As long as I'm burning the same amount of calories, getting myself in that same targeted heart rate, then honestly, I think swimming is a even better cardio for most people. Now, if you're not a good swimmer or, if you have anxiety or fear of the water, probably not a good go-to. But for those of you who don't know, I was a lifeguard for like 10 years. So the water is like my happy place. It's almost like therapeutic for me to swim. I find I can bang out way more cardio that way, burn a lot more calories more effectively. But my body appreciates it so much more. Like when you're in the water, you don't have all that gravitational force pulling you down. So you get that alleviation, number one. And number two, there's a lot of smaller muscle groups, stabilizer muscles that I find that I use while pulling through the water that I usually wouldn't use just chill on the treadmill here. But anyways, we have our check-ins sent off to Robin. Usually I'll get up right away, take all my check-ins like I showed you guys, and then I'll just come down here, and while I'm walking on the treadmill, I'll just get all that edited, send it all over to him, so he has all that information, and then we'll figure out what the game plan is that we want to tackle for this next week. I think we can most definitely continue to ride out where we are. Obviously, we have a really good rate of loss happening already, so main thing is for me is not being ready too early. So for those of you who were following my previous preps, my biggest thing is not being ready too early. So we want to just keep the fat loss at an appropriate rate of loss so that I don't end up having to like chase my look at the end of prep because I start running away because my metabolism goes on overdrive. So we live and we learn. I know a lot of data about my body now after already going through 2 full preps, but I'm definitely very excited to work with a new coach this time because I did my last 2 bodybuilding preps with a different coach, and we brought 2 great packages to the stage. So I'm just excited to learn more, take a little bit of a different approach. I'm definitely really enjoying like the collaborative approach that I'm taking with my coach Robin. He's been super fantastic so far, so stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Back up here. Today we're going to be destroying a full back attack, but this time we're going to be focusing primarily on the lats. So I'm going to give you guys a full walkthrough, my full pull A day today. So get your pen and paper, stay tuned for some good tips.
First move of the day here, we're gonna get into a stiff arm pullover. So really my goal here is to really get a full extension forward on the lat. Really focusing on keeping those abs braced, chest is up, chin is up the whole time. And it's really not about trying to pull it through myself. I'm actually thinking about trying to keep my arms extended out ahead of me, shoulders forward, and I'm pushing down into the floor. So don't try to think about trying to go too far on this exercise. It's really just about driving that elbow down in, extending out straight ahead. Another tip that I also like to think about is instead of letting my hands rotate down, I'm thinking about pushing my hands forward the whole time. So I'm not really putting that tension in my elbow. I'm just keeping it in the lat, cranking that forward, hinging, bracing in the abs and in my serratus. I'm really allowing that hand to push downwards into the floor right through here. So I'm pushing, stretching it forward and ahead, down into the floor as I come through. Chest stays up, chin stays up, proud when we train. All right, so warm-ups are done. Don't need too long a rest periods. We're not doing anything too crazy here. Just getting some blood flow in. It's gonna be my last acclimating set. Slacking today. Technically only just finished my pre-workout. Code Chafe, save yourself 50% off. But now that we got everything nice and warmed up, we're really gonna attack the lower lat here now. So we're gonna get into a single arm Nautilus pull down. I love this piece. You can also set this up really nicely with a bench and a cable similarly. But obviously if I'm here at Pure and I have the machine that's already set up for me, we're gonna annihilate this. This is hands down my bread and butter for growing my lats. So stay tuned, check it out, and really pay attention to those postural alignment and where I'm allowing that hip to, that elbow to drive into my hip. All right, so apparently I had a mic glitch for the past couple of minutes, which I did not realize. So I technically already did 2 full-on warm-up sets here and did a bunch of explaining that I'm gonna re-explain. Collect a few plates for myself here. We got everything really warmed up with those pull-throughs, which are my goal there, was just get a really good lengthening and my muscle connection started off with the day. Get the lats all fired up, get lots of good blood flow in there. But also, I think it's also really good to like get good movement in the both the scapular plane and the shoulder girdle, considering both of those play a large role in our lat training. So we are now going to get into our working set here on my first big heavy hitter of the day. Probably one of my favorite pieces here. Honestly, I have a lot of favorite pieces, so I can't even say that. However, this is a fucking staple for my lat training, specifically lower lats. Understanding the function of the lat actually does, understanding that it does actually insert pretty much at the very top of my hip there. So I actually do need to have something in my program that consists of not just coming straight down, but coming down and in, right? So this checks off every single box for me, hence why it's so early on in the program for me today. So a couple of big takeaways. Probably noticed I just put my straps on. So like we talked about last week, my forearms are never going to have the same amount of hypertrophy development as like my entire back. And considering my back is probably one of my strongest muscle groups, I definitely could use some straps to keep up with my strength there. So big couple things I'm going to point out before I even start, because I'm not going to be able to talk once I'm braced. But key thing, right from the get-go, I'm going to stabilize, brace my core the entirety of the time and never compromise my posture and my positioning. And I'm really focusing on driving that elbow down into the pocket of my pants, not behind me. Okay? All right, let's get to work. Oh, one other point. You'll also see me use my opposing arm to stabilize. Big, big bonus tip. Okay. All right, it's pretty good. Went up 10 pounds on those. I was trying to get anywhere from 6 to 8. Good set. We'll get those up next week. I noticed that I have a little bit of a discrepancy between my lats. So I've been training my left one first now so that I can match up with my right side. Since there's a slight discrepancy, we gonna fix that because symmetry is important. Wait. Okay, so I probably could have got one more on that side, but then we would make the imbalance worse. For people that always ask me about how to fix muscle imbalances, it's pretty simple. Put some unilaterally loaded training in your programming, train the weaker side first, match the other side to it, and what do you know? You're going to close that gap discrepancy between the two and create more symmetry within your physique, which is what we all want. Anyways, I'm going to get one more set in on these because they're feeling so damn fucking good. And then we have another bread and butter staple movement up next. All right, so now that we got the lower lat absolutely murked, gonna get a little bit more up into that mid and upper lat. So what we're gonna focus on here now is the Nautilus single arm row. So again, I really like to do this movement unilaterally. Just find I can be a lot more stabilized. And considering I do a relatively, not even relatively, I do a stupid crazy amount of weight when I'm training my back in comparison to my own body weight. So things that I can do unilaterally and get more stabilization on is going to be better for me prime time. So when I set this up, I'm kind of thinking about setting this up the same way I would set up, like if I was standing up and doing a bent over row, I'm bracing into the floor. It's the same concept on the row machine. I'm going to plant my feet. Probably help you guys can see what I'm fucking doing. But I'm going to plant my feet similarly. When I grab onto this here, posture is nice and aligned. And I'm really thinking about keeping that shoulder down, elbow down. And I'm just really driving that into the pocket here, right? I see a lot of times when people are doing this, they're like leaning and leaning, and you're not rowing a boat, guys. Okay, so stay on the actual targeted muscle tissue. And that's exactly what we want. So again, same thing, do a little warm up here, 8 to 10 reps. Again, I've done this exercise 100 times, so it's gonna get fired up, having everything perfected, and then a little feeder, and you guys already know the drill. And I want you guys to see that there's no rotation that happens here. So I'm just driving that elbow through, keeping it in close to my body to stay on the lat, but I'm never rotating with the weight. Now you're just training your obliques. Working set number 1. Here we go. It's fucking hot here today, boys. From the last time I fucking sweat like this doing an upper body workout. Okay, let's go. Boom. Boom. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Second working set. Let's get this fucked up. And then I do actually pivot, hit a little bit of upper back before finishing off the lats with my last move. And I know I haven't actually shown you guys that because obviously this gets clipped up a little bit, but when I'm doing unilateral lat training, or like any muscle group for that matter, I treat each arm like its own set. So I think it's equally as important for me to catch my breath, reset my heart rate, reset my focus, and then do my other arm. So I don't really think it makes, like, you're always going to disservice the second side if you're just going to do 100% perfect focus and then just like jump right on into the next one. So catch your breath, reset, take fucking 20 seconds. It's not going to be the end of the fucking world. And then get more out of the other fucking arm. Here we go. Ah! Ah! Okay. And that's a wrap. So we got 3 lat exercises down. We are now going to switch over, get a little bit of an upper back pump going. So again, if you guys watched my last YouTube video dictating the different pathway in which the elbow is going to dictate where you're actually contracting the back, high and wide, we're going to get upper back. Elbows in tight, we're going to get more lats. So we are going to go with a slight overhang grip. You'll notice I'm on a little tiny bit of an angle, which is better for my shoulders personally, but I'm really focusing on driving my chest into the pad here, and I'm thinking about trying to open my chest out, spreading space across my collarbones as I roll those elbows back. So again, my lats are all warmed up today, but I haven't actually done anything for my traps, my rhomboids, or anything in that upper back plane yet. So I'm actually going to do a nice light warm-up set here first. I like to get myself nice and stable where I'm going to be on the pad first, feel nice and good. I see a lot of times when people do this, they come up so high that they're like on the bottom of their fucking rib cage, and that's a beautiful thing about your xiphoid process. That's going to feel like shit if you try to stabilize on it. So through here, I'm actually resting into my chest, my sternum, overhand, overhand. And again, another thing I see people do is like put their head right down, or they're extending like right up. Just keep your head neutral. Just like look straight forward. Okay, so again, this kind of first bit of this motion is kind of like a Kelso shrug that seems to be getting a lot of popularity and hype. So again, I am going into a protraction at the bottom, but I do need to start with a retraction first as I bring those elbows out to the sides. So it's no good to stop here. I want to actually get that stretch ahead, shrug it back up through here. Now, if I were to switch this into a narrow grip, well, now I'm going into my mid back and my lats more. So I really do want to get this exact pathway that I have created here for you guys. And again, I'm not lifting myself off the pad. I'm actually thinking about driving into the pad the entire time. All right, that was nice and light. Let's get some weight on there. So even myself, 15 years into training, I still warm up everything. So don't kid yourself. Well, I've been training in the gym for a couple of years. I don't need to warm up anymore. That's just juvenile. Maturity in the gym is setting yourself up for success to get the most out of what you're doing, not trying to skip things to make things faster or easier. Oftentimes, the easier path of life does not grant you the results that you want. All right, so this is just gonna be a feeder set, and then we're gonna get into 3 plates for my top working set here on this. This is probably the most humbling T-bar row, and I think that's why I fucking love it so much. Oh yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
So like this is fun.
Oh, it's
Like
great.
it feels the pumps are insane.
The pumps are
But I
great.
was like I might need to throw a little bit of salt in the intra
Oh yeah,
workout shake.
100%. Yeah, hydrates deep plus a little extra salt.
Yeah.
Definitely won't hurt.
Yeah, because usually I don't sweat much.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm definitely fucking sweating now.
And plus you're stimulating, you're stimulating tissue like crazy, right? So,
Yeah.
and your metabolism's going up, so
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
Yeah, you're off like another 2 pounds.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like fucking A.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a great machine. You guys using that one there, or
Use this one here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
T-bar row. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
You'll be ready.
Oh, I'm always ready.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so I really want to use your legs. So imagine that instead of what people do is sneak all the way down onto the bottom of the pad, I can almost do a little bit, almost like now you're tipped onto this pad automatically,
Yeah.
instead of trying to sneak underneath it.
So, I don't know if I need to change what I do, but usually I have to go like this to get it, and then I set myself
That's
down.
okay, I can even hand it to you.
Yeah.
Just to make it
That's
easier,
that's
but
usually what I have been doing because I find if I put the platform up any higher, then I'm too high. I'm in like my xiphoid process.
No, that looks good.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
but I'm almost too. My arms are too fucking short
I gotcha.
to get it. So I've been just kind of like coming over.
Yeah. That's totally fine.
On my tiptoes and then kind of rooting.
Get those legs right away. So you're driving off that pad and your throat stays open the whole time. Yeah, so the biggest thing is you really whoop right there. That's it. Yep. That's what allows that to open. Keeping that. Yeah. That's it. Yep. Good. Bring your elbows out wide. Yeah. Yeah. Now bring your elbows in narrow. Narrow. To go wide again. With the throat position. Yeah. Couple more. In narrow, out wide. Yeah, really engage the legs now. Yep. That's it. Let's go. Big squeeze. One more. Yeah. Big squeeze. Beautiful. Yeah. Good job. That's the one.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That's what I like to see, man.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Guys.
All right, so you guys probably just seen we had MVP drop in the last video. So this is my coach, Robin Strand. So I'm stoked to be working with him for this prep, getting ready for the stage.
Honored, man. Yeah, always love having a new student who's ready to work and who's ready to really put in that education aspect with me as well. So let's get after it, man.
Fucking A. One of the many reasons why I chose to move here out of anywhere I could have moved, driving 5 days across the country, it's primarily just because of the environment and the people, who you surround yourself with and the environment that you place yourself in, I believe is going to be a direct translation into how much you can tap into your own personal growth. So, I'm definitely blessed to have people like Robin around me, Antoine, so many people that I can name off right now, but I'm like mid pump, getting sweaty. But at the end of the day, I just have so much fucking gratitude and gratefulness for like being here right now. Also, like thinking back like a few years ago, how much I would have fucking dreamed to be able to just like train here regularly, let alone like be doing a bodybuilding prep here, let alone like have like a full team of people working with me here. It's a fucking dream. Anyways, last back move of the day. Gonna really get back into that full lat and primarily lower lat. But I am also really focusing on getting a really big stretch at the top here because I want to get lots of blood flow. This is going to be our last move of the day, and then I just have a little bit of rear delts and biceps. So let's fucking get after it. Same thing here, coming down, bracing. I don't want my hips all the way underneath this pad. It should be like the ends of my quads. And I'm really focusing on keeping those abs tight, pushing my quads up into that knee pad, and driving elbows down straight. Think about this like a chin up, pulling myself up into the bar. See, sometimes when people start getting tired on this, they start crunching down into it. It's like, think about this like a pull up or a chin up, sorry. I'm never gonna like chin up into the bar and like crunch myself into the bar. I'm pulling into the bar with a straight posture. Up next, I just polished off my rear delts, but since I already covered that in my last video, we're not going to do the same thing again. However, we're going to do an easy bar cable curl for the biceps today. So a couple things that I think are really important here. Number one, almost instead of thinking about curling your wrist up, extend them ever so slightly. Think about chest up, abs are tight, but you can see how much I'm really lifting my chest up to the ceiling here. And again, similarly to any other bicep curl, I'm just focusing on closing that gap. So again, I don't need to come up past my shoulders for that bicep head to be fully shortened. Ooh. All right, a little bit of abs and off the day. So I want to think about keeping, I'm not fully loose here. I am keeping a slight engagement in my lats, which is going to keep my serratus engaged. And then from here, think about more so pushing my feet forward than up. And it's really just about the control aspect here. But when I get to the bottom, I'm also not dropping and then resetting. I'm just keeping that constant tension there all throughout. That's what we want. Transverse abdominals in constant control. All right, this is for those of you getting shoulder pain and elbow pain on a preacher curl machine, which is designed specifically to isolate the bicep without using other shit, as long as we line it up properly. So if you guys notice this beautiful thing called the pivot rotation point, aka the axis of the machine, is going to match with the axis of which joint I'm using. In a bicep curl, that would be the elbow joint. Haha. So if we line up the elbow joint with the axis point of the machine, then guess what? I'm going to have all the load in my bicep and not strain the elbow nor the shoulder. If I were to go down too far, well, now I'm putting a lot more strain into my shoulder. Vice versa, if I come up too high, I'm putting a lot more tension into my elbow. If you guys are into training your joints, feel free to put it in whatever fucked up place you want. But if you want to actually grow your biceps, I would heavily recommend lining up your elbow with the axis point dictated on the machine. All right. Line up, line up. For me personally, if I were to come in straight like this, it's impossible for me to have the back of my arm down here. So because of the size of my shoulder, I actually do need to rotate slightly away from the machine in order to be able to keep my arm perfectly flat on the machine while also simultaneously keeping my elbow lined up with that axis point. This is going to enable me to keep all of the tension on my bicep, the entirety of the range of motion, even give you guys a little bit of a cheekier angle here so that we blow up the fucking peak, which is what we're here to do. Oh, yeah. All right, so it was just my warm up. Obviously, I'm not fucking around with the camera during my working sets, but you guys get the idea. Let's get to work. It's like she can smell them. She knew I was training biceps. Here she is. How's your workout, baby? Pretty good, pretty good. I'm really fucking up with the angles here today. No, I'm trying to get my fucking bicep in it, babe. Trying to get you in it. You're so funny. How's everything looking here today? Not that I can see right now. All the fucking sweat in my eyes.
Back in the office, post pull day. That was one crazy back and bicep pump in there today. I hope you guys enjoyed all the quality tips that were in there, but also that nice juicy pump with the post workout posing that I showed you guys. But as you guys can see, things are going great. Looking full as a house, getting leaner and leaner, and probably the only individual change that I've made in the past 3 weeks was I did switch my growth hormone back to being pre-bed. And for me, I've noticed such a huge difference. For the past year and a half since I started using growth hormone, I was trying different timings in which worked best for me. And if we want to break it down, taking it pre-bed is definitely going to be very optimal for recovery, sleep, and realistically speaking, for me personally, I typically do my cardio first thing in the morning right when I wake up, so that also does benefit the fat immobilization aspect as well. Now, when I started up with my new coach, he was like, "Hey, I would prefer you to switch to taking it first thing in the morning, which I did do, and we tried it out for 2 weeks. But I noticed that like my typical like 8+ hours of sleep was like 5, 6 hours, and it was a little bit interrupted. Ever since switching it back to pre-bed, I feel absolutely amazing. Now, theoretically speaking, if you were to get up in the morning and take your growth hormone, wait 90 minutes, and then go do your fasted cardio, it's still gonna have that same benefit. But for myself personally, I am so hungry in the morning. I'm like eyes awake, get some water in me, and steps done so that I can start getting my food in and get into the workday. But anyways, just for some food for thought, because there does make a difference in terms of what time of day you do take your growth hormone. So make sure if that's something you're interested in, do your research. On that note, I am currently taking new bodybuilding clients and lifestyle clients. So if you are interested in leveling up your physique, learning more about your nutrition, training stimulus, and how to optimize your own recovery at best to actually see the physique developments that you want to see week after week, feel free to reach out, set up a free consultation. Consultation calls do not require you to sign up for coaching. It is literally just for you to ask questions, inquiring about my coaching services, so that you can ensure that it's a perfect fit for a program for you. Because at the end of the day, finding the right coach for you is a very personal and intimate decision. So you need to be able to vibe, you need to be able to communicate well, they need to be well educated, and they need to care. And I find the only way to really find that out and see who that person is for you is being able to meet them somewhat face to face. God bless technology, we can hop on a FaceTime. So this is your reminder that the resources are there. You just got to be willing to take the leap of faith, jump out, reach out to somebody, and actually start making it happen. On that note, I hope you guys will have an amazing day. Feel free to comment what you guys want to see on the next one. And I'm already fired up for what's coming next week, guys. That concludes our 14 weeks out update. Stay tuned for the next one. I got some good, exciting things cooking, and I'm already so excited to see what the physique is going to look like next week. Anyways, practice gratitude, mindfulness, and appreciate where you are, because it's not just about the end goal, it's about the journey getting there.